I'm here with Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II. Dr. Barber, I understand that you're already on your way off to this rally that you're having in Washington, D.C.
Yes, I'm headed to Washington, D.C., because on Wednesday, the 12th of June, clergy, interfaith, Christians, Muslims, Jewish, Unitarians will be coming together to stand up to what we see as immoral activity, breaking with both covenants, our constitutional covenant and the covenant with our deepest religious values, by the President of the United States and his administration. And that for too long, there has been this core group of religious persons like Jerry Falwell and Franklin Graham and others who have decided to hijack religion and try to use it in the way that endorses President Trump and his administration. When in fact, when you look at what he is doing, his administration's policies violate the very core values of Jesus, which is to care for the poor, the least of these, the immigrant, the sick, and the very violation of our Constitution, which is to establish justice, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare. So we have come to the conclusion that we must issue a prophetic indictment, a kind of a moral impeachment. And we would do it regardless of who is in power, if it was a Democrat doing it. And so we were coming to process straight down Pennsylvania Avenue on Wednesday the 12th, hand in hand in full vestments, clergy vestments, and going to the White House based on a scripture that all major religions honor, is Jeremiah 22, which says when things get like this, the priests, the pastors, must go down to the royal palace and deliver a message and challenge those in leadership to stop doing what they're doing, as insofar as it hurts the women, the children, and the least of these, the broken, and the vulnerable and the poor.
Now, Dr. Barber, as I understand it, this movement, this group of Christians and other religions that are going to be participating in this event, we're not talking about right, left, Republican, Democrat. We're talking about just people who realize I want to say the evil that's dropped upon us right now. Is that correct?
Right. We're standing in that same tradition of the prophets of ancient Israel who did not look at left or right. They looked at the moral center and the righteous standards of God. We're standing in that same position of the civil ministers like Dr. King and Rabbi Heschel, the same tradition of persons like Frederick Douglass and white evangelicals and Quakers in the 1800s during slavery, who stood up against slavery. We're standing in the tradition of those who do not look at left versus right. It's actually wrong to try to suggest there is a left religion and a right religion.
Exactly.
That's not theological. It's not biblical. It gives equal moral standing to things that are not equal. The scriptures are very clear about what our position should be. In the scriptures I follow, it says, Jesus said that every nation would be judged by how that nation treats the poor, the sick, the immigrant, the hungry, and the naked, and then the least of these. And so we are very much in violation of that, and that's why we're coming to deliver this prophetic indictment, both to the president's administration, but also to challenge these other religious leaders who are hijacking religion and in some sense performing heresy in the midst of right in our face.
Dr. Barber, one more time, could you tell us exactly what's going to be happening next week on Wednesday the 12th?
It is called Witness Wednesday, Moral Witness Wednesday. We will meet at the New York Presbyterian Church on Pennsylvania Avenue, and around 10 o'clock, we will process straight down Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House, and there we will deliver a moral indictment. We will deliver letters, some persons, we will be engaging in direct action. We will be saying to the White House, the President, and the administration, what the Scripture says. It is time to stop your attack on immigrants, your attack on the sick, your attack on people based on race, your attack on the most vulnerable. We will deliver a prophetic indictment against what is happening. And we will be saying to the nation, as people of faith, it is time for people of conscience to not only send a tweet, to send an email, but to stand up, to organize, to speak out, to register to vote, to mobilize, because what we are seeing in in the midst of our lives right now in this nation is a fundamental fundamental attempt to deliberately push aside our deepest religious and our deepest constitutional values in a way that is hurting this country, and will hurt it for years and years to come. And we must say enough is enough in this time.
The Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II, architect of the North Carolina Moral Mondays, president of Repairers of the Breach, and co-chair of Poor People's Campaign. Thank you so kindly for having been with us with Politics Done Right, Dr. Barber. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
God bless you. Take care.